Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are gonna hang out with somebody we haven't seen in a while, and I'm talking about Princess Buttercup. So many of you ask about her and how she's doing. We have to go into her little enclosure now, and I wanna visit with her. Here she is, right here. You gotta be careful with her because anytime we get in here, she thinks she's getting fed. And you know, it used to be I was able to bring her out, and we were able to do stuff with her, but now she has to stay inside here because she's a prohibited reptile in the state of Florida. The Fish and Wildlife Commission makes sure that these animals, since they are invasive, the Burmese python, that these animals have to now remain indoors. I can't bring her outside at all ever again in her life without getting in trouble.
We sincerely thank all of you happy campers out there. Your support makes a real difference in our efforts here at Camp Kenan. This week's shout out goes to longtime supporter Emma C. Thank you for all you do and for loving reptiles.
So here she is, and the kind of downside about not being able to bring her out is I haven't been able to handle her as much. So she's a little bit less friendly than she used to be. So I just like to touch her with the snake hook, let her know she's not getting fed, so we got to work on it here. So that's what I'm going to try and do, is to just kind of let her know that I'm going to get in here, I'm going to inspect her. She's shed, and it looks like she's kind of had an incomplete shed or shedding in patches. So I wonder if it's a little dry. I need to probably mist her down some. She doesn't look like she has any retained eye caps or anything like that. So that's pretty good. And what I want to do is just give her an overall inspection. You guys are going to hang with me. We'll clean up her enclosure. We'll kind of pick up all this stuff and kind of move it on out. And just kind of give it a look over here. Oh, there's one right there. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of shed. I didn't even see it. So there we go. We got a lot of beautiful shed from her. There's some over there. Let's have a look at the water. Ah, she drained her water. That's why things aren't going so well with the shedding. Looks like her water, sadly, has been drained out. Oh my gosh, we gotta fix that. Look at all this. We gotta fill that up. So I'm glad we're doing this today. And that's why usually there's a telltale sign. And that's the sign. She's had no water here. That's a bummer. I mean, I only filled it up 2 days ago. It looks like it might have sprung a leak, or perhaps she knocked that little PVC out a little bit. So we'll go ahead and fill that up. But look at this, we got some urates we're gonna break up. We'll push them out and I'll get them up out of here. I use the snake hook for as much as I possibly can. We gotta clean that out. But let's have a look at her. Let's go check out what she's doing. And again, guys, I'm being very careful with her because she's not used to being handled much anymore. So let's see what she does. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Be gentle. Be a little gentle. That's it. Oh, yeah, she's upset. But I want to check her because every once in a while she'll get a couple of, she'll get some ticks. And there's one right there. See? We got a tick right there. It happens. We are actually in a shed, and you know, sometimes they get a little ectoparasite, so we're gonna pluck that off, no problem. We'll dispose of that tick. I wanna move her a little bit so I can clean out some of the shed in the shed, if that makes sense, which I think it does. Here we go. I love this snake though, Buttercup, man. We fought to keep her. We got the permit. She's part of our program here. We just haven't seen her in a little while. Oh my gosh. There we go. I think I got some shed back here too. I just like to keep this place nice and clean because cleanliness is one of the ways you keep these animals from getting sick. But she's got a large enclosure. You guys have seen me. I built it. You saw the video when we built this. When I say we, I mean me. It took a little while for me to do it, but I'm happy with it. I think it looks good. We tried to make it like some kind of cave for this critter. Again, she's not really in a strike position, but I like to be careful. So we'll just pull this out, throw it in here with all the other shed. There she is. Again, I'm coming back in So what does she think? She might be getting fed. So I just gently touch her, let her know there's no food here today. This is not food time. This is hangout time with us. So let's go ahead, move that. Alrighty. While we're servicing the place, oh look, Leo left his Black Panther mask here. All right, there, Black Panther. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. Okay, let's get this urates out. Get them out, and we got to fill that out. What you doing there, Princess? Princess B.C. Buttercup. Awesome snake, though. Beautiful animal. Let's see if she's friendly enough. Let's see if we can still pick up this girl. Oh, we can still do it. That's a girl. That's my lady. Oh, she's so heavy, guys. So heavy. We're gonna put her up here. Oh, such a big lady. Holy smokes. Oh, we got more urates too. Let's get her urates cleaned up out of here. There we go. We'll put those in the garbage as well. But look at this beautiful snake. I think she's up. We got another ticky. Oh, that's the one I squeezed. Good. Look at her. Look at her. She could pull herself right up. She's a beautiful, beautiful snake. Burmese python. Albino, of course. And she came to me many years ago now. And she belonged to a gentleman who was getting on. He was actually having problems with his health. She was already a big snake. She was about 12 foot when he had her. She's grown maybe 2 foot since she's been here. I can't remember if it's been 7 years or 10 years, or I just don't remember exactly how long I've had this beaut. But she is incredible. I love her. It's just one of those things that sadly, since I can't bring her out for exercise, we have to leave her in here. And I built this so that she'd have just tons of space. She can stretch on out. She will have her water filled up again. I'm gonna mist this down in today's video. We'll clean it all out, you know, just spray it down. We stacked up all this slate here. She's got a nice little hideout there and a nice little swimming hole, or soaking hole rather. But we used to do the videos where we would swim with her. I'd put her in the recreation pond. Sadly, I can't do that any longer. Just can't have her out because they're afraid if she were to get loose, she would, you know, she would then have the potential to reproduce. But the reality is she's an albino. I wish they made a distinction between normal colored snakes and then the morph snakes, because those animals really can't survive in the wild for very long, and they would be noticed a lot quicker. That being said, if she did get out while she was gravid and had eggs, and if she did breed with a normal colored snake, then some of those babies would be, you know, able to survive and carry that gene. So we're just going to do what we're told. It's still awesome to have her. I'm glad I didn't have to get rid of her. That would have been a shame, because most of the animals, if you don't have a permit, or if you're caught keeping the animal without a permit, you get a heavy fine, and you're going to wind up getting the animal euthanized, which is a shame. They don't offer any grandfather permits if you are not a business. You have to be a business, and you have to be, the animal has to be on display in order for you to receive your permits. And even still, they're not giving these permits out to just anyone. She seems to have, let's say, I was just feeling, okay, there's no lump. I thought I felt a lump. But what's possible is it's the pit tag. We did pit tag this snake, so she has a identification computer chip in her. So if she did get out, they would know it is my snake, and I could be fined. So that's why she's inside a locked cage, inside a locked room, in a locked shed, so with double door entries. So it's very, very important. Let's go ahead. I'm going to shut this. We're going to go grab the hose. And I'll show you what I got to do. Oh, the urates are making it difficult to close the door. I'm just going to put one door. We'll walk right out here. We have dangerous reptile sign. That's another requirement, is that we have signage up that lets people know there are dangerous reptiles in there. And it is true. The Burmese python is a dangerous animal. 200 teeth. They can bite very, very hard. They can leave quite a mark. You will get lacerated. You will have stitches. It's people think, years ago I remember people saying, oh, retic bite's not bad, a Burmese python bite isn't bad, and it actually is, guys. You can get nailed and it hurts. So the key is don't get bit if you can help it. Also, they could kill you. True story. Snake that large, if it was an accidental bite or even a bite, defensive bite, if they wrapped you, you're not going to be a happy person. Let's spray this out to show you what I got to do. I like spraying this down. Woo! It's raining in the cave. Spray things down. Give her a misting. She seems to like it. And this is going to increase the humidity in here as well. Just kind of wash everything down for my lady. Look at her. It's raining on you. Let's go ahead and fill this up now. I must not have tightened up the, I must not have done this properly. Oh, get that out. Let's rinse it. It looks like it's on. Looks like it's in pretty good. Let's go ahead and fill it up. We'll let that fill up while we hang out with her. And again, I'm always very careful, just the way I've always been. I like to minimize any kind of real problems or risks or anything like that. Little side note, this was Zeus. Zeus was a very large sulcata I had, and I went to Australia in 2000, maybe 14, or was it 2008 trip? I can't remember, but I went there, no, it was 2008. And Zeus got rammed by Lumpy, who lives all by himself now. And Lumpy pushed away the skin from his shell. And when I got home, my dad, who had been watching the place, said this tortoise had to move, and sadly, he was filled with maggots, and there was just nothing I could do to save him. It was a real shame. So he died of his injuries from Lumpy, who was much smaller than him. But I kept his shell, and as you can see, Buttercup slithers in and out of the shell, and she just does her thing right here. So she's just kind of hanging out. We fed her a few days back, so I'm not going to give her a feed, but we are going to hang out. Now, what I did with this enclosure, in case you guys haven't seen, let me just get this stuff out. Okay. Just chuck it out there for now while I'm yapping. What we did is I kind of carved up the insulation. If you look, it was really a yellow insulation here. Okay. And so I colored it, and I carved new foam to kind of make it look more rock-like. It took a long time. See, I like this wall, but it took me forever, and the dust was just insane. So I kind of just abandoned that and thought, you know what, let me just color it like this. And I think it looks cool. I mean, it's a large enclosure. Took me about a week and a half to complete. I work at my own pace. We've got some fluker deep dome light dishes in the winter. It's a basking area, and it keeps it warm in here. We do heat this in the winter, but she has been doing very well here. And to be honest, the larger the enclosure for your snake, kind of the easier it is for me to keep clean. You see, I spot clean in here. I can spray things down. Whoop, we got a big turd, a couple of turds. Is that? Oh no, that's not a turd. That's a cypress tree. That's a root, thank goodness. I thought she had a giant poop that I had to clean up. But we took some cypress branches and some roots, and we kind of made this kind of hide box for her. You can see right here, it's kind of a cool hide. Okay, I took foam and sprayed it out and carved it. We have some of the fluker sphagnum moss. We adhered to it, but yeah, it's a pretty cool little box that when she goes, I can use it for others. There's some, what are they called? Roaches, palmetto bugs. It's a fact of life in Florida. You're gonna have bugs if you live down here. But anyway, yeah, so we're filling this up. This drains out the back. So it usually, what's funny is, it looks like my timer's not working because the hose right there is supposed to overflow and fill this up. So I don't know why that's not happening. Very, very strange. But anyway, I guess she's not so cranky. She still lets me touch her. Yeah, that's a girl. She's still a good girl. We just got to get in here and hang out with her. I just used to love bringing her out. I used to bring her out for friends to see. I used to bring her out to go swim. It's a shame that we'll never be able to do that again. But you know what? She still has a good life here because we have spent the time. We built a nice enclosure for her. And you know, down the road when she does pass away, which hopefully will be a very, very long time, I can transform this into another enclosure for some lizards, from some monitors maybe. Maybe we'll do a door where we can have access to the outside sunlight. That would be a cool improvement to do as well. So just a great enclosure. I'm really excited for it. And I'm happy to see my girl. What's up, baby? She's so beautiful. And you know, this snake does have the potential to get even larger. She will grow closer to 18 foot. They are a very large species from Southeast Asia. And my gosh, just an honor to be able to keep her. I love them. I think at this point, she's the only morph I have. And she's one of only 2 snakes that I keep at the moment. And that's because, you know, for me, I'm just really into lizards. And turtles and crocodilians. I love snakes, but for me personally, it's more fun to see snakes in the wild. You know, the normal way of keeping snakes is usually in a smaller enclosure. If you're a ball python breeder, they keep them in the boxes and stuff, and that's just not fun for me. And it is a lot of work. You got to clean those boxes often. You can hear it draining. We filled up. That's good. Hey, young lady, your water is ready if you're interested in going to take a bath, maybe. I'm glad you did get all that shed off. You look good. Nice, bright and cheery, and bright, cheery eyes right there. That's a girl. All of her. I love all of her as she wraps around and back this way into there. And they're so sensitive on their tails, guys. They're so sensitive when you touch their little tails. They wiggle them. Oh yeah. They also use those tails as an anchor. They'll kind of bite into their prey, and then they throw that amazingly strong, heavy, muscular body around their prey, and they squeeze, and that's how they subdue their prey, kill their prey, and then of course they use those massive, well, not massive, but they use that beautiful head and those flexible jaws, and they're able to eat something a couple of times bigger than their largest part of their body. But a good rule of thumb when you're feeding a constrictor or snake of any kind is don't feed it a prey item that is larger than the largest part of their body. So that's usually what makes things comfortable. Here at the camp, I have fed her rabbits. She eats rats, large rats. She'll eat probably 5 at a time, and she even eats chicken thighs and wings, and she'll eat parts of a chicken, which is really convenient because as you can see, there's not a lot of mess. When you feed them animals with fur, there'll be pellets of fur. You know, they digest most everything except for you know, fur and feathers. So when I feed them like plucked feathered or plucked chicken, then it's a little bit less of a mess, which is nice. So hey, pretty cool. And like all snakes, they don't need to eat every single day, and they eat a lot less in the cooler months, where she just kind of chills out, basks a little bit, and hangs out in the water because the water is warmer than the air. Good stuff. I love it. I love her. I'm glad we got to hang out with her. You guys are with me. We have filled up her little bath. Okay, we've made it nice and comfy. The water is a comfortable 72 degrees for her. And why don't we go ahead and finish off by spraying her down a little bit more, kind of give her a misting. We kind of rinse things down here, spray things out. I love it, but she seems to enjoy it. I think so. And the good thing about this is that the water just drains on out through the ground. It evaporates into the air, creates a nice humid environment, which the Burmese python really, really appreciates. We have a mister up there as well. So good stuff, but a necessary little visit with our girl, whom we have not seen in a long time. It looks like she's on the move right now, which I like. And yeah, guys, what do you say? Let's hear it for Princess Buttercup. What do you guys think of Princess Buttercup and her enclosure? Do you guys like that I have to keep her indoors all the time? What do you think about these laws? Hey, I know I don't like them. But I adhere to them because that's what responsible reptile keepers do. And if we want to be able to keep these animals into the future here, we have to show that we are responsible, and we will do everything we can to protect our environment and the animals in it. So good job there for our lady here, Princess Buttercup. It looks like she's trying to figure out, hey, look at this. Maybe I'll go swimming and soaking because it's been so long. It's been a few days. So we're gonna let her do her thing. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me here for some fun educational videos in my backyard. We're gonna have some more videos coming up, and guess what? There's plenty of more videos all over the channel. So if you're interested, why don't you go on over there or here or there, I don't know where, but on this channel, lots of content, lots of videos. You can go back and see. She used to live in a really small vision cage. Now, she's got the ultimate python hangout. Well, I guess the ultimate python hangout would be a virgin untouched forest without any human beings cutting it down. But hey, look, this is the best way to keep them if you're gonna keep a large snake. All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining me. I'll talk to you all soon, and we'll leave you with Princess Buttercup right here, who's gonna go exploring. See ya.